Good morning, Sapadia. Good morning, Ricky. Just we're gonna wait a couple minutes here to have folks join us here. Good morning, Sergey. Good morning, Frizu. All right, let's go ahead and share the risk disclosure here, guys, and get started here momentarily. All right. Yeah, well, yeah, I think NQ and the equities had a bit of a move too, if I'm not mistaken, Farador. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go quickly through the risk disclosure here. Just reminding everyone here that that the content I'm about to provide you, content I'm about to provide is to be treated as general information only. None of the information it contained is intended as investment advice. Very good, Ziggy. Yeah. So again, all the information contained herein is general. None of the information provided is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, future, or fund. Use of the information on this website is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, agents, employees, and contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of this information. Future trading does contain a fair amount of risk, and it's not for every investor, and an investor can lose potentially all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security should be used, okay, for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, none of the information contained herein is a solicitation or offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay. All right. So now that I've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, guys, we had quite the overnight, I think, in as was mentioned here in gold and crude oil. We're going to take a look at the news here, okay, and see news we have in our horizon here that could maybe potentially shake up the markets here a bit, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So yeah, so we've gotten a fair amount of news coming in. We had GDP come in above forecast. Initial job claims come below forecast. We had durable goods come in flat, which I guess is positive. GDP price index come in line. So a lot of positive news in the market. The only thing that's not positive was the continuous jobless claims that came in higher than forecast. We have a lot of Fed speaking, or Fed members speaking here over the next I don't know, a few hours here, starting at 8 a.m. Central. Okay, we have Collins and Kugler speaking, Bowman, Powell speaking, all around that 8 to 8:30 Central Time. Okay, all speaking. And then we have pending home sales coming in at 10 a.m. Okay. And then we have more Fed members speaking. A lot of Fed member speaks. Okay, today. All right. So fair amount of news today that could potentially impact the markets. So let's dig in and see what the markets have to say. Okay. So go ahead and stop here for a second, and we'll go ahead and open up our charts. All right. Here are our charts. Okay, we have a chart of a continuous contract of gold here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up the daily chart here, and as you can see, the gold has been on a monster run here. Of late, daily chart is again creating potentially some new highs. We're at all-time highs already. Okay, so really nothing, nothing in the horizon that could potentially stall this market. Now, I think I had mentioned when I did a little bit of analysis, I think we might even be at one of these levels already. Okay, so if I did my little Fibonacci extension tool here, you can see that we've already reached that 100% extension of this swing here. Okay, let me turn off some of these levels here because they're interfering a little bit. This, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. Okay. So yeah, so we've already reached a target, right? We had mentioned this 2,700 level, and here we are at 2,700. Okay, all based on some extensions. These are a variety of anchor VWAPs that all been supportive and how served as support. Okay, so daily chart very much remains bullish. Okay, in this market. All right, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, looking at the 4-hour chart, I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these levels here, guys. Remove some of our drawings. So here we are again, continuing to make some higher highs and higher lows in this market. All right, the current last 3 set of candles here are bullish. A fair amount of selling here at all-time highs around 2,700. 2,700 is a psychological level, so we could expect a little bit of a maybe potential dip here, but the market has been quite healthy to the upside. All right, looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. We have our series of candles here. Again, look at, we can see how the daily VWAP has provided us a nice opportunity for continuation trade to the upside. I don't know how many times I've counted that daily VWAP has offered that kind of level, right? That we can use to manage our risk and manage our trades. Okay, so let's go ahead and start adding some of our levels here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to add here is our average daily level. Okay, so our ADR here. Let's go ahead and open that up. I don't know why I'm not seeing anything at the moment. Oh, there it is. All right, so we've already exceeded ADR to the upside. We have rejected initially away from the top, but now we're kind of, and so to some degree, challenging it a little bit. We did wick down to the daily VWAP. At this point, I'm somewhat inclined to add an anchor VWAP, but I don't know if that's going to really tell us any much more than what the daily VWAP is telling us. But I'm going to go ahead and add it nonetheless. And let's see if I can find it. All right, there it is. Okay, here is kind of the location, but you can see here that price came right between the anchor VWAP and the daily VWAP, and it reversed with some vigor. Okay, so next item on the agenda would be to open up the fixed range volume profile. Okay, and see what the fixed range volume profile has to say. So today is Thursday, so we're going to go ahead and look at the 830 bar, and drag that across to the 430 bar. Okay, and there's our And there's our volume profile. Again, look how well this offered, again, another reversal in price. Okay, we have another area of confluence. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up initial balance here. Let's see if I can do that. There's our initial balance range, a relatively wide range. Okay, some of this may be a little bit news driven. Okay, so we have our initial balance range. Let's go ahead and locate our levels here. I'm going to go ahead and open up my spreadsheet where I'm tracking some levels. Bear with me here, guys, as I open my spreadsheet. Okay, here we are. Found my spreadsheet. Let's go ahead and open that up. Okay. Okay, so here are our levels that we're going to be tracking today. Notice that I don't have a 4-hour supply to the upside because we haven't established any structure in any one location here. Okay, I mean, if you wanted to use 2,700, okay, as kind of a 4-hour supply area, that's, I think, perfectly reasonable. We haven't really rejected too far away from it. But again, that's probably something that we could add here. But looking at the ADR, okay, ADR, we're just kind of double checking some levels here. So that's in line. We have ADR low, 26,664. That's in line. We have value area high coming in at 26,89. That's in line. And then we have ADR low here, not ADR low, but value area low coming in at 2681. And then our point of control coming in at, what is that? 2684.7. Okay. Point of control. And that happens to be the same level as our settlement price. So let's see if I can find settlement here. Settlement. Okay. There it is. Okay. That pretty much is the same level. Okay. 2684.7. is the same level as our point of control here. Okay. All right. So what to make of this market? Well, it appears, I guess more than appears, that the market wants to head higher. Okay. And so the idea here is that one hypo would be that we get a break of initial balance to the upside. Okay. And that we break above this 2,700 level, I think is important. And then we continue to make our move to the upside. Okay, that's one hypo. Now we could potentially, although I'm not really keen on it, given this candle here. And let's see. Let's go ahead and open up ASR here. ASR. Where is ASR? All right, here are ASR levels. The ASR levels are coming in at that 2,700 level that I mentioned. Okay, so we have 2699. So I'm going to go ahead and update this to 2699.9. Okay, that's our ASR level, which is pretty much what I mentioned earlier, 2,700. Okay, 2699. Okay, as our ASR high, and then ASR low is coming in at 2677, 2677.10. Okay. And then this is 90. All right. Okay. So here are our levels. I'm going to put this up here. All right. These are our levels that we're going to be tracking in this market. Um, Again, I'm having, so I mean, we're at a level now where we could potentially offer up a reversal in price. We had a very quick reversal down to this area, so this really feels like it wants to continue higher. Okay, so I'm going to be waiting for this initial balance to establish. I'm going to be waiting to understand exactly what direction does price take initial balance. Does it break to the upside, which it feels like it will, or will it reverse off of these levels and continue lower? Okay. If I'm bearish, ideally I'd like to see it break below VWAP and anchor VWAP before I entertain it, and then I have ASR here to the downside to offer up an area or target for price. Okay. Otherwise, what makes this a little bit challenging to the upside is I really don't have any targets above me. Okay, to support a target trade here, right now. So in that kind of circumstance, I can use something like Fibonacci again to kind of help me manage what a target price would be for this. Okay, so we have 2718, 2718.6 would be a reasonable target, and that would be kind of a measured move. All right, for this move, should we continue to head higher? Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at, and that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gold market. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move away from the gold market and head over to the crude oil market, um, and check to see if there's any questions here. I'm not seeing it. Okay. So again, the volume, very strong volume coming into the bullish side, guys. So that we have to kind of take that into account in any sort of consideration that we have in potentially fading this. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and move into the crude oil market. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to crude oil. All right. So we'll look at this market. We had a very strong, sell-off in the market here. Looking at the daily chart here, we can see that, right? You can see the strength of this selling that we've had in this market. I wouldn't use these levels necessarily. So let me go ahead and remove these drawings and shut down some of these ADR levels and ASR levels. Okay, right now we're just doing a little kind of big picture review of what the market is trying to accomplish. Well, the market continues to try to make lower highs and lower lows. Okay, that's what the market is trying to accomplish. So there isn't, again, we're coming into an area of potential demand. We're getting a little bit of reaction away from it. This is a daily chart, by the way. So this is not something that we're going to be trading necessarily, but it's going to be guiding us as to exactly what the sentiment is. That's kind of how I use it. Okay, moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, again, we have our series of candles, lower lows, lower highs. Okay, we've broken some structure here to the left. Okay, I'm going to identify that. We've broken some structure here to the left-hand side, right? To the downside again. Okay, so again, indicating that there is a fair amount of sellers in this market. Now we've come into an area. I don't know why this area, out of all these other areas, has offered us a little bit of support here, but it's coming in at a level that was a prior settlement price. And that's kind of, or for now, have kind of paused the market to the downside, but it may be short lived. Okay. We may end up as low as, based on this chart, as low as 65, 75, something along those lines. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart, we've kind of created a little bit of what appears to be a little bit of a double bottom. Okay. We have one candle here that kind of stopped the bleeding here a little bit. We've come again and retested that same level, and looks like it is again supportive here at this 67.50 level. Okay, if I'm going to be bullish in this market, I need price to get above 68.69. Okay, really to embrace the longs. Okay, Otherwise, this could be just an area where we can basically stay in range, right? We basically stay in this range down below, right? We can just bounce around between these levels. If I'm really going to embrace the longs, I need to see a new high. If I'm going to embrace the shorts, I need to see a new low. Okay. Otherwise, the expectation is that we're going to remain in some sort of range here. Okay, in price. All right. No worries, Larry. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the ADR tool here, and we'll start to take a closer look. Okay, so we are below the average daily range. We've reacted away from it. Okay, to the downside. This ADR low is actually serving as a reference level. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and open up ASR here. Let's see right here. All right, we have our ASR levels. And then the next order of business here would be to open up our fixed range volume profile. So I'm going to turn off ASR here for a moment. The charts get quite busy quite fast. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. I'm going to locate the 9 o'clock bar Eastern. I'm going to drag that to the 4:30 bar. Okay, there it is. And here we are. We are below value. Okay, indicating that the bears are very much in control of this market. Should not be any surprise given what we've been seeing in overnight trading. Okay, especially leading up to the London session. Okay, so again, value area low seems like a very ripe area to participate in some sort of short trade. Okay, this area right here is going to be an area of interest for me to the downside. Okay. If again, so certainly we can potentially entertain a trade maybe up to say this ADR low again. But I'd like to see, I'm going to go ahead and also add this anchored VWAP, and I'm going to take, I'm not sure exactly which peak to take here. Let's go with this one here. That's going to be pretty far away from the market, but let's see, anchored VWAP. Okay, let's take this candle here. All right, so there it is. There's another location relatively around the same area. So this whole area seems to be a ripe area for sellers. Okay, right here. All right, this whole area between 70 and 69.80, or 69.30. This whole area seems to be a ripe area for sellers here. Okay, if we manage to get up there, there's no guarantee that we will. Okay, if I'm a buyer, okay, of this market, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea given the lows. Okay, then I need to see price get above daily VWAP. Okay, I need to see price get above this daily VWAP and potentially above this price structure before I would want to entertain anything long, because the structure remains to the downside. Okay, so let's open up our spreadsheet here. We'll go ahead and add our levels to this chart here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and add those here to the right. Okay, so here we are. There's oops. Okay, there are levels. If I can navigate this somehow. Okay, that's over here to the right. Okay, so there's our levels. We have a 4-hour supply zone way above the market here at 73. Okay, we have our average session range, which we'll go ahead and open up now that we have our levels on the chart again. We'll go ahead and open this up. We have our 69.04. Let's make sure that this is reading as New York. New York, yes. Okay. So we have 69.04. Okay, 69.04 is our average session range. It's well below. So let's modify this. Let's check in see maybe what London. So let's move with London. That's the most recent. Okay, London. You click OK. All right. So again, we have this 68.99. Okay, which is the bottom end of so 68.99 is average session range low, high, I should say, 68.99. Once the equity markets open, I will potentially readjust this. Okay, but the 68.99, or just call it 69, might be a good level. 67.17. 67.17 seems like a nice level here, or as the low end of price. 67.17. Okay. All right. So what to make of this market? Well, we've already talked about a couple of scenarios here. One scenario is that we continue to the downside. That seems the most natural course of action here. Okay, that we continue to the downside. That is the path of least resistance. Okay, that's the path that's aligned with structure that we're seeing here. Okay, I'm going to be waiting for a break of initial balance to the downside. I understand that I have an ASR low here, but we've already reacted off of this a couple of times. So there's a good chance that we break it. Now you can see here that my view of bear is aligned with volume. A lot of sellers in this market, right? We're hovering around net almost 9,000 more sell orders than buy orders. Okay. Notice when we've had these kind of situations in the past, well, that at least created another leg here to the downside. Okay. So I like crude oil to the downside. Okay. All right. If I'm going to be bullish, I'm going to have to look to the left here to see what I can use and lean on to support a bull. 67.17 might be an area that I can kind of lean on a little bit. I think we're well below our ADR levels, so we'll have to wait and see where that area would be. But it would have to be some sort of 4-hour, or I think I had mentioned 65. Okay, I don't know if we're going to get there today. We may get there given the strength of this move. But 65 or 65 and change, I think, was kind of the level that we kind of found on the daily or the. So yeah, basically I'm looking at 4-hour and daily levels, demand levels in particular, to support maybe a potential reversal trade. Right now, the view is that we're going to continue to the bearish side in this market. Okay, so I'm going to do another anchor VWAP, maybe a little bit closer to the market here, and that's almost spot on top of the daily zone. Okay, or a daily VWAP. Okay. So I'm not seeing anything more question wise. So we'll go ahead and hop into the equities, and we'll start in with the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq, when I was looking at it this last night, was on a tear. Okay, to the upside. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but this is pretty much as bullish as it comes. Right. We look at the daily chart. All right, so daily chart. Okay, very much bullish. Holy cow! Look at that candle. All right. So where can this go? Well, we can definitely go back to the highs of 21,000. Okay. We are coming up in an area where we had some prior selling here at 20,000. Yeah. 20,600. But right now looks like the path of least resistance again in the equities is to the upside. Okay. So daily is very much bullish. We're going to go ahead and look at the 4-hour. 4-hour chart is also equally as bullish. We're going to go ahead and remove some of these levels. They don't necessarily support when I do a higher time frame review of the markets. So we'll go ahead and close those out. So again, we see a series of higher highs and higher lows. We are above settlement price. We're above daily VWAP. Everything is pointing up in the Nasdaq. 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. I'm assuming that when I draw my anchored VWAP, we're going to be well above the market here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. All right, we'll draw our not anchor VWAP or volume profile, I should say. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open that up. We'll start with the let's see, the 930 bar. Drag that across to the 1330 bar, and look how far we are above. Yeah, exactly. Where do we buy it? That's the operative question. We need to be patient, Sergey, and see if we get any sort of pullback to some sort of level. Okay. So I would say that something along the lines of let me draw my anchor VWAP. Okay. Boom. Okay, I'm gonna look at this level right here, but that's way below the market. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking for some sort of reference levels below me, okay, to support this, to support a long trade. Okay, we're not in initial balance yet. Okay, maybe the level that we just left, this 20,500, could be an area. Okay, that we just left to the upside might be a level that we can use. Okay, to the up. So this area right here, Sergey, right, could be an area that we could potentially consider. Not as red, not for a short, but more for a long. Okay, so this area right around 20,500. Okay, so we don't have initial balance, so let's go ahead and add our levels to this market here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add this levels. Yeah, yeah, Dubois. That seems to be the path, but we have to be careful, okay? Because there's lots of buying in this market, okay? Lots of buying in this market. Now, could you take a mean reversion trade back down to one of these levels below us? Absolutely, but we need to trade that with caution. We need to trade that with caution, okay? All right, because if you look at the volume delta here, this does not look. This volume delta is indicating we have about what almost 2,000 orders to the buy side here. Okay, very little volume delta to the short side. Okay, so, and again, the bounce that we're getting here is quite aggressive. The problem is we really don't have any areas to speak of. I mean, we did, I think, we found some levels. I don't know, was 21,000, maybe 20,600. That maybe these levels could offer us some reversal, but we have to be careful. We have to be careful in thinking contrarian, okay? Because if you look at the daily, this is not light, okay? This candle right here that's developing is not a weak candle, okay? This is not a weak candle, all right? So we need to be careful. We need to be careful with especially if we are looking to trade short, okay? Yeah, maybe a Powell speech may cause maybe the market to reverse a little bit, but this is a very difficult market, I would say, to fade, okay? That would not be my first choice. The first choice would be to see if we can find an area to buy, and I think I identified one here in 20,500. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and add our levels here to this market. Okay, all right. So we're going to add this over here. All right, here are our levels. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up ADR here. ADR, where's ADR? There's ADR, well above ADR. Okay. This is an abnormal up day. Okay. This is one of these days that, like I said, on average, price in the NASDAQ remains in these ranges. Well, we're in an abnormal day. Okay. If this is not any indication of abnormal, I don't know what is. Okay. Moving on to let's go ahead and open up ASR, but I don't think the ASR is going to tell us much of, well, we do have one level here. Now, looky, I think I had mentioned 20,600 as maybe a potential area for reversal. And look what ASR gives us, 20,608. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and update this to 20,608. All right. As our ASR high here. Okay, not daily, not daily. Let's see, modify this, but our ASR here. Okay, so we're gonna modify this. Okay, 608, and then we're gonna modify our low to 20,359. 20,359. Okay. Through 359. All right, there's our average session range low. We have our average session range high. Okay, 608. All right. So yeah, again, this would be kind of a reasonable area if we wanted to approach this. more on the downside, this would be a logical area. But I don't, again, there's a little fair amount of waiting that you're going to have to make in order for that to potentially happen. I would say that we're going to wait for initial balance to establish. Hopefully that initial balance range is relatively narrow, and then that might give us a logical location where we can potentially take make an execution in the direction of wherever the initial balance range is broken. Okay. So very bullish market. Okay. Right now in the NASDAQ, we are, well above some of these levels that we care about. It seems a bit toppy. Okay. To participate right now on the long side. Okay. Yeah, so that's the gold and equities, they are inversely correlated. Okay, generally, not always, but generally. Okay, if equities go up, gold goes down. If gold goes up, equities should go down. Now, does that mean that they're not situations where they both go up or both go down? Absolutely, but generally, if equities go higher, gold will go lower. Okay, all right. Let's review our next market. Again, I don't think this is going to tell us anything different, so I'm going to forego. The daily and the 4-hour review because I don't think that's telling us anything different. We are in a market that's looking to go higher. Okay, in the ES, we have a candle here that's above some structure here. We're about 15 minutes away from this candle closing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add my levels here. Okay, that I've captured here for the ES. You're welcome, Frizu. Okay, we're going to add our levels for the ES here. So we have 5850 is our ASR high. So I'm going to modify that 5850. Okay, not exactly. All right. Okay, and then we have our ASR low here at 5801. 5801. Okay, is our ASR low here. Okay. Yeah, it is higher. It is higher between the GC and the dollar. Yes. But there is generally gold and equities are also inversely correlated. Okay. But yes, I understand why the dollar. So if the gold is up, then the dollar will go down. If the dollar is up, the gold will go down. Okay. I would say that Dubois, you're right. They're probably more closely correlated than the equities. Okay. All right. All right. So here we have our levels. I'm going to go ahead and draw our fixed range volume profile here, but it's going to be no surprise here that we're well above the market here. So let's locate that here. Here's right about there. Drag that across. Here we are. Okay, so we're well above the market. Okay, should be no surprise here. So, yeah, very bullish market. Okay, now we could arrive at a level here that could take us back to VWAP, but it may be swift. Okay, I don't know if I was showing you that candle that we saw where we got a wick off of daily VWAP. That's how fast it could be. Okay. So if we're thinking short, we need to be we need to be close to the trigger, okay? Because it could be a swift move down to daily VWAP and quickly scooped up by buyers to the upside, okay? All right. So I just want to caution on that aspect. We would probably be better served in trying to locate a level to the upside, daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and add an anchor VWAP here. All right. That would be the more logical place to be. All right. Or direction, right? Should be to the upside. Again, the top of ADR would be a nice level. The average, our daily VWAP is another level that could offer us an execution. Okay. So again, I'm going to remain patient. I'm going to wait for my initial balance range to establish, and then I will look for an opportunity. Okay. All right, let's close off with the Dow. Okay. All right. So the Dow is also looking to make some new highs here. All right. Again, I'm not going to go through the daily or the 4 hour in this case. This is pretty much across the board. Now, this over here provided us an opportunity if we were looking for a pullback. If we're looking for a pullback, well, we got one here. The question is, are we going to get one similar? So let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here, and we're going to go ahead and locate the bar here, and we're going to drag this across to 1330. Okay, so right now we are above value. All right, we did peak down to value. All right, and then we reversed away from it. Look how nice of a move we got off of value area high right here. Okay, we can't ask for better moves than this, right? Nice move. It peaked below, and we reversed away from it. Okay, so where is the destination of this? Well, I can't see any reason why we can't get back to the highs, okay, of Wednesday. All right, in this market, we have a target above us at 42,600. Okay, so let's capture some of our levels here. Okay, so we have let's see, we have 42,646 as our average session range high. Okay, we have what else? We have our 42,254. Okay, 42,254 as our average session range low. Okay. All right, we have point of control here. Let's open this up here. Settlement, where's settlement? Okay, 42,276. 42,276 is our settlement price. And then we have, let's see, point of control is slightly above that. Is coming in at 42,309. Is that right? Yeah, looks like 42,309. 309 is our point of control. Okay. And then what else? What else are we missing here? Value area low. Let's go ahead. Value area low is basically that level. So let's say, well, value area high is coming in at, what's that? 42,450. 42,450. 42,450 is our value area high. Okay, and then our value area low is coming in at 42,250. Okay, 42,250 is our value area low. Okay, so similar to the other equity markets, guys, the Dow and the the ES and the NASDAQ, it seems like the market wants to head higher. Okay, the question for us is, how do we find a level that we can support and align ourselves to the direction? Okay, we had a level here in pre-market that offered us a nice location off of a demand zone, off of a VWAP. So as long as price stays above VWAP, I think we need to align ourselves to the bullish side of the market. Okay, we need to wait and be patient. Okay, wait for initial balance to establish. Once we have initial balance establishing here, then we can pick a direction based on the direction in which the initial balance is broken. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for the markets, guys. I'm going to finish up here a little bit earlier than normal, 8 minutes, to give you guys maybe some additional prep time to support maybe a potential opening range trade if you so desire. Also would entertain any questions if you have them, but we're looking at a quite bullish market here in the equities, and I think crude oil, I believe, was more bearish, although I think we were seeing signs of some bullish behavior. And then gold, I think, as being mentioned here, is Dubois is moving to the downside. Okay, all right. If there's no other questions here, we'll close off the session. Encourage you guys again, as you see these posts in other social media areas, don't be hesitant in adding a comment or two on how this is supporting your efforts in analyzing the markets. Don't be shy in hitting the likes and subscribes. Okay, if you're not already a subscriber, subscribe. Yeah, definitely hit the like button if this analysis is supporting your views. I will be in I think Power Hour. I don't know exactly what session I'm going to be in here, but I'm going to be in Top Step TV today, briefly for about half hour or so, talking about the VAPs. Okay, members. All right. I'm part of the VAP membership of Stop Hunters, I believe. Stop Hunters is my group, and they're representing that group relatively well, as you can see or witness on the dashboards. Okay, much of what they're doing, not of what I'm telling them to do. Okay, it's going to be between 9 and 9:30, 9 and 9:30 Central Time. Okay, that's when I'll be online there. Okay, so you can catch me on Top Step TV. As I mentioned, we'll talk about how I've been supporting them. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Erin, I don't know how people were selected for the first VIP experience, but certainly if you have an opportunity, I think it's a great opportunity to work a little bit more closely with the coaches, a much smaller group, and support your continued journey in the markets. Okay, or in trading. All right, Aaron. But yes, that'd be awesome. Okay. Yeah, you have to be. Yeah, this is a Top Step X kind of effort, right? Yeah, you would have to work off of Top Step X platform. Okay. They give you some perks here and there, I think, to support that. But yes, you are correct, Zay. You would have to trade off of Top Step X. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. I'll leave you to the markets. Encourage you guys to trade well and trade safe. Trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. Have a great session. Stay true to your process, and when the opportunity comes, don't be afraid to seize it. All right, guys. Have an excellent trading session, and we will talk. Well, I guess I'll see you guys, some of you, in Top Step TV later today. All right, guys. Talk soon.